We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about how we can load up our bags before the next Bitcoin blast off. My friends, Bitcoin is in absolutely incredible territory right now to begin, more than likely to continue your dollar cost averaging journey into this king of crypto. Today, we're going to be talking about how we can best approach this cryptocurrency market to generate profits. Very excited to be here today, guys. We got a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and read some chat. Thank you to everybody who's already tuned in. Sean O'Brien's in chat, and RJ, Happy Mac, David is in chat, Satchet, Joe Bollier, Manny Vang, Grand Roofing Incorporated, Hoss Cartwright, Carter Pennington, Hold My Beer, Manny is in chat, 12B Pang, 12B Panda, M is in chat, and Conrad Denif. All of our friends here in chat. Very, very, very excited to be here today, guys. Looking forward to discussing the markets with all of you. Today, we're going to start out over on CoinMarketCap. Because as you can see, Bitcoin is currently trading, if we give the page a quick refresh here, about $66,700. We have been rallying over the course of the last week. We have seen Bitcoin rally 6.45% in the last 7 days. Ethereum has rallied 4.72% in the last 7 days. And both Bitcoin and Ethereum are up roughly 1% in the last 24 hours, even being up about 1% in the last hour. Been a rally going on this morning. Binance up 2% in the last 24 hours, up 13% in the last 7 days. Solana up 1.43% in the last 24 hours, up 18% in the last 7 days. XRP up 2% in the last 24 hours, up 12% in the last 7 days. Cardano is down in the last 24 hours, but has been rallying aggressively in the last week. It is up 12%. Sheeb even coming in, being up 20%, Avalanche up 15%, Polkadot up 13%. You get the point. Even Chainlink up 16%, Near Protocol up 37%. Major rally coming here to the cryptocurrency space. It's almost irresistible to read these gains. ICP up 24%, Stacks up 30%, Uniswap up 13%. But why is this happening? Why is crypto market cap returning back towards $2.5 trillion, that all-important level? Well, the reason that is occurring is largely due to the fact that we have seen the cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin halving take place. There were two major reasons why Bitcoin was going through a corrective movement over the course of the last several weeks. The first and foremost was because Bitcoin had witnessed a massive run-up over the course of about a year with not much to speak of in the way of correction, especially in the last 6 months. Ever since September of 2023, Bitcoin had rallied almost 200% in 6 short months. And that is a movement that Bitcoin was always going to need to cool off from. Bitcoin was always going to need a correction following that. I personally think a correction back down to this uptrending level of support, whether it be an immediate drop or a prolonged correction moving through time into June and July, one of these movements would be the best thing that could happen possibly to Bitcoin. In my assertion, what I think having some degree of sideways trading here below $75,000 for at least the next several weeks, and from there eventually Bitcoin will break above crypto will break above $2.5 trillion, and we will see Bitcoin break above its previous all-time high at $69,000, and we will see Bitcoin blast off even higher towards $80,000 and $100,000 from there. The fact of the matter is, there is a way that you generate wealth in cryptocurrency, and it's by following one of the laws of money. That is, actually two of them in combination. The first one is investment. The way that you get wealthy is that you save money for emergencies, and then you invest the rest. We want to make sure that we have money stashed away in case something happens, but then we invest the rest into cryptocurrency. And we also want to make sure that we have a written plan. Our second law of money is to have a written, our third law of money is to have a written plan for our finances. That's called a budget. And with investment, it's called an investment plan. What is our investment plan? Where are we going to invest? How much are we going to invest? What are we going to invest in? On what exchange are we going to invest? And how are we going to take profits? We've got to decide on all of those things. In just about anyone's investment plan, you're going to find a clause where it talks about what you do when the market goes into a dip, or it trades sideways, or it consolidates like we're doing here. And this is one of the best times to begin investing in the cryptocurrency space of Bitcoin in the last month or so, because we've already gone through a month or so of corrective movement, which means that much of the correction is behind us. We don't know how much is ahead of us, but we know at least a month of it is behind us. Generally, these corrections last a couple of months. As you can see right here, this one would last 66 days. If you take the entire sideways movement here, lasted about 190. That was our largest corrective movement in time so far this cycle. We're already 40 days into this correction movement, so it could last a good bit longer. In fact, it could last all the way here until the later part of the year, going into June. I would love if Bitcoin did that. I really actually hope that it does that, so we can build this gigantic bull flag that'll look something a little bit like this, and then we could blast higher from there. But whether we do that or not is yet to be determined. What is determined is that Bitcoin is lower than all-time high, and from all of our technical and fundamental analysis, we have reason to believe that it is going to continue to rally further from here, which means on a dip, we can start to deploy cash. Now, a couple of things to note when you're deploying cash into a market. Never deploy all of it. Always, always, always in your investment accounts, always maintain a portion of your cash. Why? Because the market can always go lower. It is these little optimizations to your investment that will make you wealthy. So whenever Bitcoin is sitting sideways like this, it's not a bad idea to, first of all, continue dollar cost averaging, or to begin your dollar cost averaging. But after that, it's also not a bad idea to actually put a lump sum investment in. Part of the reason for that, like I said, is because we are looking at a rally that may be starting in the next few weeks. As we can see, the Crypto Jeb Oscillator shows that the bears are starting to run out of momentum. The bearish strength, as denoted down here, is starting to reverse and turn around and lose its strength. The bulls actually reversed to the upside. The bullish strength actually started increasing in the last couple of days here on the Crypto Jeb Oscillator. And as you can see, the bearish momentum has turned around. And the reason that all of those things are so important is because they all indicate that there is that there's something of significance going on here in the strength of the bulls and the bears. It denotes that the bulls are starting to gain strength, and that is a very good sign indeed. We're going to continue to talk about this, but first I want to read a little bit of chat and give a shout out to our sponsor, NordVPN. Big shout out to Nord, because Nord is going to help keep you safe, secure, and private while you browse online. If you've not already signed up for NordVPN, go to nordvpn.com/Jeb, or follow the link in the description box down below. And when you do that, you're going to be getting access to a high-quality security and privacy virtual private network system that will help keep you invisible while you browse online so that you can stay safe. Let's read a little bit of chat, and then we're going to jump right back on into it. Shadrach Frost in chat, as always, said, folks, let's hit that like button now. It only takes a second and truly supports this channel. Let's show Jeb some love and appreciation for all he brings to us every day. Thanks, friends. I really appreciate that, Shadrach. Thank you so much for saying that. And also, happy Tuesday to you as well. We're looking good right now. I agree. Chop until bear market. Sorry, no bull run. I don't think so. I think we're going to have some pain. I don't think we're done with the correction yet, but I don't think we're there yet. All right. Let's see. A lot of FUD in chat. Interesting. I'm going to run a poll while we move into our next segment here. Do you think the bear market, bull market is over? I don't. I'm going to immediately hit no on this poll. I'm going to vote in this poll. Oh, actually, since I run the channel, I can't vote in the poll, but I would vote no. I definitely don't think the bull market's over, but definitely tell me what you think on that. Bent Can 14 said, Jeb has coaching. Recommend it highly. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate that, man. Greatly appreciate that. Always enjoy our coaching calls with you guys. It's always a lot of fun. All right, let's keep it moving here. Got a lot to cover. Now, I want to go back to CoinMarketCap, and I want to look at a few different coins here. The first one I want to talk about is Cardano. We've not talked about Cardano in a while, and I want to address it because there are many people that are very concerned about it. And to be honest with you, I'm one of them. I do have a small concern about Cardano, simply because it has not been able to keep up with the performance of many of the other cryptocurrencies in this bull market. Now, the concern is not as big as it could be because Cardano is building great technology. Cardano, ever since the Alonso update came out, has been building very, very, very strong smart contracts and layer 2 applications on top of its network. They just haven't really reached full-scale adoption just yet. And if we go over to DeFi Llama, save your drama. If we go on over to DeFi Llama and take a look at Cardano here, then we're going to see that it's still sitting right here around $336 million in TVL. I would really like to see that number a lot higher. I'd like to see some projects that are being built out everywhere else built out on Cardano. We've still only got Indigo, MinSwap, and Liquid, and MuesliSwap, and A-Starter, and LenFi. Those are still the main, I'm not sure why this isn't loading, but those are still the main protocols on Cardano. I'd really like to see a lot more on here. I don't know if DeFi Llama is going to load. It seems like it's having some issues, but you can tell right here from the TVL being at 336 million that it is still right around the same level that it has been, even if the chart doesn't want to load. The fact of the matter is, Cardano just does not have the same level of adoption that Ethereum and Solana have. And this is why I have recommended people for a very long time, I just recommended this to a coaching client yesterday, that when you're investing in a cryptocurrency, you invest in the top cryptocurrency in its category, or the top two. In the case of the long-term storage projects, you have Bitcoin. There is nothing that is a better investment than Bitcoin when it comes to inflation-hardened, highly decentralized and secure blockchain technology. Bitcoin is the reigning champion, and its risk-to-reward profile is going to be far better than anything else on the market in that category, simply because Bitcoin has such a low risk profile. Even if it has a lower reward profile, when you calculate the two in tandem, which is what we have to do when we're calculating investments, then what you end up finding is that Bitcoin is an incredible investment compared to just about anything else in the crypto space, which is why I recommend that the largest part of your portfolio be in Bitcoin. The market's already done that, and it's done very well doing that. I would recommend that you do the same. Now, when you get to Ethereum, you run into a similar situation. Ethereum is top dog. If you'll remember our conversation yesterday, Ethereum takes the cake over Solana for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, it's obviously much bigger, second most. It is most likely to be receiving its own exchange-traded fund application approval in the next couple of years. It may not happen this quarter, it may not happen this year or during this presidency, but it's going to happen, and it is basically inevitable at this point. Gary Gensler can kick it off as long as he wants, but one day Gary Gensler is going to kick the bucket and leave office, hopefully on better terms than that. And when he does, his successor is almost certainly going to allow an Ethereum ETF. This is a antiquated idea that you don't give cryptocurrencies ETF application approvals because it's already happened. There's precedent, and Ethereum's a great project. Ethereum also takes the cake over many of its competitors because its fees are extremely it's not its fees. Its inflation is extremely low to the point where it's actually deflationary. That gives it massive inflation hardening properties, which lead to a great degree of investment in the cryptocurrency over the long run. Solana is a great project in that it's got extremely low fees, extremely fast block times. The Rust programming language is one of the most sophisticated programming languages for cryptocurrency blockchains in the entire industry, but it has very high inflation because of the trade-off, that famous trade-off between inflation and transaction fees in cryptocurrency comes to bite Solana in the butt. Solana has a great degree of inflation because you have to pay the validators somehow. You have to either pay them with transaction fees or with new cryptocurrency, with a staking reward or a block reward. If this were Bitcoin, it'd be called a block reward. It's cryptocurrency that's generated out of thin air to pay the validators or the miners or the people that secure the network somehow. And so that's led Solana to be very, very good at building protocols on it, but not very good at investment. So they both kind of balance each other out. One does one thing, one does something else. They both are the leader in that category. Solana has been the leader in cryptocurrencies that have great very low transaction fees, very, 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 very low level programming languages where you can build really complex things on top of it. And at the expense of inflation, Ethereum, on the other hand, has higher fees, lower inflation, so it's the investor's pick, but it's still very good at building protocols on top of it. Then you get down to projects like Cardano, and Cardano kind of gets left in the dust because while it's doing something very similar as Ethereum in that it has a limited supply, and it's not very inflationary. If you look at the all-time charts here, price versus market cap, you can see there's not a big difference between the two. They're stretching out in either direction just because that's what the charting software is doing. But there's not a lot of inflation going on here. There's not a big difference here. We have not seen a huge amount of inflation or anything to that regard. And it's got very low transaction time. So it's kind of got the best of both worlds. But the problem is it's not beating Ethereum or Solana at its own game in either capacity. And many times, unfortunately, the handyman loses to the specialist. Many times, if you're trying to build a subdivision, you don't get a bunch of handymen in there. No, you get a master carpenter and a master electrician in there with a team of other apprentices that have been doing this for a very long time. Cardano, unfortunately, is having difficulty combating Ethereum and Solana simply because it is not the leader in its asset class. In short, too long didn't read, TLDR time. Ethereum has become the leader in Layer 1 smart contract applications that focus on low inflation at the expense of high fees. Solana has become the leading crypto layer 1 decentralized application blockchain, smart contract blockchain, that specializes in low transaction fees, low block times, but is very inflationary. They both do the same thing, but they take a different approach to it to take the market dominance. Ethereum is obviously the winner so far, but Solana is probably always going to be in the second place at this point. That's what it's starting to look like. Anatoly Yakovenko created an incredible protocol, even if it is very inflationary. You've got to take the hit somewhere. Solana chose to take it in the inflation realm. That's why I'm having a hard time seeing what Cardano is going to be able to do to beat them. I think that Cardano is a great project. I'm still a believer in Cardano. It's still one of our biggest holdings, but my teaching to you guys will remain the same. Pick the big dogs first. In this case, Ethereum, then Solana, in that order. And then after that, look into ones like Cardano and Solana. I unfortunately have to give Solana the lead at this point simply because it is shining a lot brighter than Cardano at the moment. Now, there's a lot of other cryptocurrencies that you can go down and have the same investment thesis on. Chainlink, for example, is the largest cryptocurrency of its kind. It is the top dog in the food chain of cryptocurrencies that bring interoperability between on-chain and off-chain data. Chainlink brings information from off-chain, on-chain, and that's extremely important for facilitating transactions on things like exchanges, especially decentralized exchanges. If you go to Chainlink's website, it's going to say that they've facilitated over $10 trillion in transactions. You just scroll down a little bit, and it's right here. About $10.5 trillion in total value, total transaction value enabled. 100,000, million, billion, trillion. That's a pretty big deal. They go in here to say why Chainlink is the global standard. This is how you're going to build wealth in cryptocurrency. Start out by buying great projects, not just good projects that have the potential of being great. Buy the great projects. And then if you were trying to really build wealth in cryptocurrency, it's not about getting caught up on, man, I've got to get a 500x. No, it's not about getting a 500x, because if you're getting a 500x, you are going to have a and somebody mentioned something about crashing. Cardano takes the cake in that it doesn't crash. So that's where I still think Cardano is a good, important part of the portfolio. And I think it's got very, very solid technology as well. But when we are building wealth, we don't want to have to focus on, I've got to find a 500x. You know how stressful that is? Think about it. Tell me that's not stressful, trying to find a cryptocurrency that you think is going to 500x that you feel confident putting all your money into, all your investment capital into. If you're looking for a 500x in the next year, I'm sorry, but you're probably broke. You don't need a 500x to get wealthy. What investor do you know that got wealthy because they 500x'd anything unless they founded a company and took it public? That is a very, very, very rare and difficult to repeat premise for building wealth. What people have done forever to build wealth is that they increase their income and they leverage a large income. They free up their income by not having debt. They free up their income by not spending it on stupid things. Have you ever played the Rat Race, the board game? It's a game about personal finance, about building wealth. And sometimes if you hit a certain like trap section, you have to pull a card and it forces you to buy a doodad. And it calls it a doodad. And it's like you have to spend $500 on a new blender, or $1,000 on an espresso maker, or some kind of random nonsense that you didn't need, you didn't care about, and now it's just going to sit there and collect dust in your house and waste your money. That is not what we need to be doing. We need to free up our income by living on a budget and only spending the money that we need to spend. And then what we need to do is we need to invest a lot of the income. We need to say, I'm okay with investing 20, 25, 30% of my take-home income into retirement accounts first, then into paying off a mortgage. Hopefully, we've already paid off the other debts. And then we are able to put even more money into building wealth by following the financial sovereignty way. When we do this, we will build wealth. And so that's where we come full circle back to cryptocurrency. When we're talking about what cryptos to buy on this dip and how to load up our bags, back to the point of the video, to the stream, then we need to look at the leaders in their specific categories. Bitcoin is the leader in its category. Ethereum is the leader in its category, with Solana having a kind of a lead in a subcategory, if you will. Chainlink is the leader in its category. Dogecoin, the leader in its category, and Sheeb is a second leader in that category. If you're trying to buy meme coins and you haven't bought Doge or Sheeb, I think that's silly, because they probably got the best risk-to-reward profile. Do I think you should put any more than 1% in a meme coin? No. Please do not bet the farm on meme coins. I have literally, I heard a horror story from a small banking friend of mine, and you know, one of the banks that doesn't make a living off of ripping you off, you know, a smaller bank. He told me about a longtime friend of our family, actually. He told me about a friend of his. This was 4 years ago. Told us about a friend of his that had taken out a second mortgage on his home to buy Dogecoin. And you want to know where he bought it? Yeah, this was several years ago. I was told this story. He bought it here. Yeah, actually, it wasn't several years ago, because it was after the peak. He bought it up here, like above 50 cents or something. And when I took this call, it must have been late in 2021. Yeah, I guess it was, wasn't it? Yeah, it would have been. It would have been summer in 2021. It's probably right about here. So yeah, he took out a second mortgage on the home, bought a bunch of Dogecoin, and I don't know what happened next after that, because he was in the middle of going bankrupt. Okay, so let's be wise while we, and it's really not funny. It's really not funny, but it is something we don't want to repeat. But we want to be careful. All right, so how do we specifically load up our bags? Who would like to know specifically the system for how we should load up our bags? Because I'm about to teach you. Let's read some chat, and then we'll keep on moving. Before we do, I do want to let you guys know that today's video is brought to you in part by Uphold's Vault. If you go to the link in the description box down below and check out Vault, you are going to be very pleased with what you find. Go to the link, come to products and services, then Vault. It is new, and you are going to be finding a page that teaches you about a new product that was just released, where you can store your Bitcoin in a vault that can only be accessed with 2 keys. Think about like on those movies where you have the nuclear submarine, you need the commander and the admiral both to turn the key to launch the nuke. Well, it's a little bit like that, not exactly, but the premise is to get into your wallet, you have to have 2 of 3 keys. Any 2 of the 3 keys will work. You can have your 2 keys, which is how you'll normally get into the vault. But if you lose one of your keys, Uphold has 1 key. So they will give you that key, and then you can use your key that you still have and the Uphold key to get into your wallet. But they can't get into your wallet because they only have 1 key. And so it is completely and totally secure. It is one of the most foolproof and secure ways to store your Bitcoin and cryptocurrency that I have ever seen. So make sure to go to the link in the description box down below. Sign up for Vault. It is a very small fee, but it is a very small price to pay to take control of your own finances and make sure that your assets are safe, not only from being hacked, not only from being spied on, but also from user error of losing a key. It's a great option, so check it out with the link in the description box down below. Let's read a little bit of chat, and then we're going to continue right along here. Very much appreciate all of you for tuning in. We've got a 91% of you coming in saying that you don't think the bull market is over. I absolutely agree. Totally agree. All right, after halving, after new... let's see. Nah, Doge and Sheeb already have all-time high market caps. You get more return on memes with lower market caps that are not on Coinbase, yet like Pepe or Doge with HAP. There is absolutely an argument to be made there, because you have the option of them getting listed, right? And I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying buy the leader in a space if you're going to buy something. It's there for a reason. All right. Let's see. Good morning, Brother Jeb. Cardano didn't pump until October after last bull run, so no, it's not time yet. I agree. I think that there's a lot of value that is going to come into Cardano. It just is going to take some time. Been buying $1 a day of Bitcoin and ETH for years now. Cool. Nice. Love it. Good deal. All right. Love by Ledger, Nano, X, and S. Yeah, all right, so let's keep it moving here, guys. I do want to look at Cardano a little bit closer because I'm not against it. It is, I believe, our 4th largest holding in our entire crypto portfolio after Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. I am very happy with Cardano, and I do think it's going to perform very well in this bull market, but I need to see more adoption on it. I need to see more adoption on the TVL. You can see the TVL was pushing high here, up towards 500 million, actually all over $500 million. There's been a major correction as a result of the drop in markets, which makes sense. Pretty much everything's TVL is going to go down because the cryptocurrency that the TVL is denominated in goes down and their money gets pulled. But you got to see here, Ethereum has $56 billion of TVL. So when you consider the fact that Ethereum has 150 times the total value locked that Cardano has, then you've got to ask yourself the question, does it make sense that Ethereum has as much more market cap as it does? In fact, it makes a whole lot of sense because Ethereum has 150 times the market cap. But if I just come into my calculator here, we divide 396 billion divided by $18 billion market cap for Cardano. Ethereum has 150 times the TVL, but only 22 times the market cap. So again, love Cardano. It's a great project, a lot of enthusiasm there, but the issue remains the same. That TVL's got to change. Similarly with Solana, Ethereum has 15 times the TVL that Solana does. If we come here and we divide the market cap from Ethereum, divide that by the market cap of Solana, it only has 5 times the market cap, despite having 15 times the TVL. In short, one of the major drivers of the price of a cryptocurrency is, at least in these layer ones, is its total value locked, its actual usage. This is one of the most important metrics you can look at, which is why Ethereum is and will remain our largest holding in the altcoin space. The fact that it has one of the best TVL to market cap ratios in the game, about an 8-to-1, about 8 times the market cap as it has TVL, compared to Cardano, for example. And I'm not trying to hate on Cardano. I'm just trying to say that Cardano needs to prove itself. Cardano has 600 times the market cap that it does TVL. Go to Cardano here, right? 336 million times 600. Doing this on my calculator, right? 336 million times 600 is about $20 billion. Yeah. So, or about 60 times. 60 times. I'm sorry. I was off by a decimal. But the point is, the ratio is way worse. Cardano's TVL compared to its market cap, way worse ratio than Ethereum's. Same thing again with Solana. Part of that is because Ethereum has reached maturity. Part of that, though, means that Solana and Cardano need a lot more build out to be worth their weight. And so again, that's why the majority of our investment is in Ethereum. It is lower risk. I am not looking where I have to make 10, 15, 20x in this cycle. I am happy to put my money in investments and let them ride over time and not touch them. The most money that I have ever made in crypto, I've been doing this for the better part of a decade now, guys. The most money that I've ever made in crypto has been the Bitcoin and the Ethereum that I held for years. It's the most money I've ever made. Made a lot of money doing other things too, but in investment, as that regards, that has been the most wealth I've ever generated. And 10 years from now, the people that do this will look back on the people that didn't do this, and they will realize that they were right for doing this. So please, this is not a matter of debate. This is not a matter of opinion. This is a matter of fact. The best thing that you can do for investment is to pick something that you reasonably expect will be worth more in the future and will at least be here in the future, and put a lot of money into it and be okay with a lower X factor while also getting a lower risk factor, and put more income into it. Free up your income by getting out of debt. Quit paying all your money in interest payments. Quit spending all your money at Starbucks. Quit spending all your money buying motorcycle gear or your 17th bike. Quit spending all your money on enjoyment. I'm not saying it's a bad idea to enjoy your money. You should consume some of your money. That's a healthy and good thing to do, but don't spend all of it doing that. Spend some of it on investment and build some wealth with it, and you'll be glad you did. Let's read some chat. Do appreciate all of you for tuning in. Patience is a virtue, my friends. Patience. 12B Panda said. Exactly. There's a reason the word pay is in it. Absolutely. Low cap meme is worth a risk, but it's literally gambling. Now memes should be part of a port, though, and low mid cap memes are fine to have. Having nothing but memes, you're a high risk gambler. Having a small portion of your portfolio, I'm talking less than 2 or 3% in meme coins, I don't think is a bad thing. But that being said, think about the kind of person that goes all in on a meme coin. Then think about the kind of person that goes all in on the lottery. These are people that are making investment decisions without much of a rationale other than these numbers make sense to me. These numbers mean something to me, so I'm going to put all my money on 64, 42, 73, whatever. When you're just buying a meme coin because you think, oh, it's funny, what is your strategy there? What's your strategy? Is your strategy, this coin, I have insider information, is about to get listed? That's insider trading. Let's say somehow you know that something's about to happen to it. Let's say that you have some kind of plan. You know that maybe I don't know, you know something, right? And so you buy a lot of it. Okay, then you've got an investor. Then you've got an investment plan. But people that succeed with money do not succeed with money without having a plan for the money. And the way you have a plan for the money is you have a rationale for why you're making the investment that you're making. So please be very careful. My strategy this year has been to buy $50 of ADA every day. Will it pay off? Great question. If that's the only thing you're doing, I don't think that will get you where you want to be. How many of you want to be millionaires? How many of you want to be millionaires? I'm going to write a poll. Do you want to be a millionaire and you're willing to do whatever it takes within morality and wisdom, within morality, to do so? Literally exactly 100 characters. Do you want to be a millionaire, and within morality and wisdom and with being good to people, you're willing to do whatever it takes to get there? How many of you are in that boat? How many of you? I'm about to recruit you. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm surprised it's not higher. 15 votes, where 67% of you are saying that. Multi-millionaire, please. If you're saying I want to be a multi-millionaire, good. Say yes to that. You want to be a millionaire first, right? Cool. I don't want to be a millionaire. I just want to not struggle. Fortunately, in this life, if you want to not struggle, you're going to have to probably build $1 million net worth, so you're going to be able to have a retirement of dignity, at least. $1 million is not that much money anymore, guys. It's not that much money anymore. I've never wanted to be that rich. That's not that rich. I just want to be debt-free and serve the Lord wherever he calls me, giving back as much as I can. I love it. That's good. That's good. 76% of you guys say yes. Here's the deal. I don't care about making a bunch of money just for the sake of being filthy rich and being able to have a fancier car or a fancier yacht. That is not my goal. That's not my plan. My plan is I want to master the wealth. And when you have brought mastery over wealth, one of the reasons that you know that you've mastered the wealth is because you've grown it. For all of you Christians that are listening, remember the parable. Actually, it wasn't a parable. I don't think it was a parable. I think it was true. Well, excuse me, it was a parable of the different servants. They were given wealth and they were commanded to grow it. They were called good stewards. Why were they called good stewards? Why was the bad steward that didn't do anything with the money and didn't even get usury on it at the money changers, why was he called an unfaithful or a bad steward? Why? Why was he called a bad steward? Why were those that grew the money called good stewards? Because part of stewarding something is to grow something. God gave us the earth so that we would steward it and grow it. It is our job to grow it. We grow it through mastery. The way we master something is by bringing it under control. It's not about being a millionaire. It's not about being a decamillionaire. It is about mastery. And if you live in the United States of America, if you have mastered your money and you're wisely stewarding it, you're probably going to become a millionaire. So here's how you do it. You don't bury your head in the sand and hide your money and don't invest it. You also don't squander it like the prodigal son. You also don't let it run you by having it bound up in the form of debt. Instead, you master that wealth. And you tell that wealth where to go, and you put it on a collision course with success. Because the fruit of wisdom, one of the fruits of wisdom that it says in Proverbs, are riches and honor. Should we live our life just to be rich? No. If we're following Christ and doing everything that he has commanded us to do, is it a bad thing to pursue riches? No, it is not. It is not a bad thing to pursue wealth, assuming that that is surrender to him. A church taught this a very good way. They put up a word bubble of all the different things it means to follow Christ: faithfulness, gentleness, kindness, meekness, love, humility, patience, the fruits of the Spirit, all these things of following the cross. And then they put up the word bubble about money, riches, nice things, wealth. And the question was, is this word bubble about money a bad thing? It depends on whether or not you're following the other word bubble about Christ. If you're following Christ, it's not a bad thing to accrue wealth. Just like anything, it is powerful, which means it can be dangerous. But if you're actually following the Lord, then you're going to be okay with it. And in fact, you'll grow it and steward it in a way that will benefit you, your family, and the people around you. So I say to you, Christian or unbeliever, whichever one, it is a good thing so long as you are doing it within the context of a moral life to build $1 million net worth and more. So how much are you willing to do to build wealth, which we are, by the way, called to do? Here's how we do it. We've got to invest in the market. And this is where we come back to the title. We want to load up bags for Bitcoin's blast off. Here's what we need to do. We need to write a plan on how we're going to invest. If you're not already dollar cost averaging in cryptocurrency that you reasonably believe will go up in value over time, then here's how you do it. You take out a note card, and you take out a pen. And on the note card, you write out I. If we're married, then we say we, which I'm married, so I would say we will invest. That's the verb. We will invest $100, $200, $1,000, $500,000, $5 per, every Friday. Every second Friday, if we're going to do it once a month, like we would in retirement accounts. Every January. Every day. If you're in crypto, I'd recommend every Friday. Once a week on Friday. We will invest however much money every Friday. Now you've got your X and your Y axis, right? You know how much money and what the frequency is. So you actually can ground that in a budget now. And you can kind of make that make sense. So we will invest $100 every Friday in, there's your crypto portfolio, in, fill in the blank, 20% in Bitcoin, 25%, 30% in Bitcoin, 20% in Ethereum, 10% in Solana, 10% in Cardano, 10% in Chainlink, etc. That's where you write out the portfolio on an exchange. Which exchange? Well, I'm so glad you asked, because today's stream is brought to you in part by Crypto.com. If you guys have not already, make sure to sign up for Crypto.com with the link in the description box down below. They've got over 80 million users that are not wrong. They're using Crypto.com for a reason. It's because it's a great exchange. There are all kinds of rewards that you can get when you sign up right here in the welcome pack, and you'll get access to their recurring buys feature. So how do we invest? After we've paid off our debt, after we have an emergency fund, after we have invested in the long run in retirement accounts, first maxing out a 401k, then a Roth IRA, putting 5 to 15% in cryptocurrency, no more, the rest of that into the stock market. After we are doing that and we're paying off our house, then we start acting like an investor, because investors have all of those things squared away. They have a budget for their personal finances. They're out of debt. They're investing for retirement. They're paying off a house. They probably own more than one piece of property. Then they consider themselves an investor. You don't get to just say, I make $13 a week picking up peanuts off the ground at Shake Shack, and I'm going to consider myself an investor. No, my friend, you've got some other work that you've got to do, right? There's some other things that we got to get squared away. When we get to the point of becoming an investor, we are most likely, we are out of consumer non-mortgage debt. We are investing for retirement already. Retirement investing and actual active investing are two different things. Retirement investing, you're putting in a fund and somebody is going to manage it for you, so you can set it and forget about it, because they're going to do that job on purpose for you intentionally. And you're going to hold it for, 30 years or more. Then you start doing what we're talking about here, which is investing in something for a certain amount of time, like buying a piece of real estate or investing in crypto. And that's where this formula comes in. We will invest, or I will invest if you're single. We will if we're married, because finances are one. We will invest $100 every Friday in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, and these are the percentages, on Crypto.com, right? That's how we invest in the market. And you do that every single week. And by the way, some of the money that you put in every single week, you're going to put into a cash account. This cash account should go into one of two places, either one into a stable coin that is generating 5% in yield. It's not hard to find that. Or two, into a bank account, a online savings account. It's called a high yield savings account. HYSA, high yield savings account. Those are generating about 5% right now. We have our emergency fund in a high yield savings account generating 5%, because why not put that money to work? The purpose of the emergency fund is not to work, but it is there. If it's going to work, why not? This money that we put in a cash account for the cryptocurrency space that we can deploy later goes into a high yield savings account of some kind. And then if the market goes into a correction, then that's where we come to today's stream topic. How we load up bags. When we want to load up bags, here's what we do. We continue the dollar cost averaging we were already doing, and then we say, wait a minute. Cardano just dropped a lot. I want to load up a bag. Well, if you'll remember, you've been investing 15% of the portfolio into the cash account for the last 3 months. Now you got a ball of cash over here. Oh, cool. That ball of cash is ready to deploy. So what you do is you just say, instead of investing $100 every week, we invest $150 every week. We invest $200 every week. We invest $250 every week. Where's the money come from? Do we increase it out of the budget? No. We pull it from first, the money that would have been going into the cash account in the first place. We just stopped doing that. We stopped funding the cash account, and we start putting it into the market. And then after we've done that, then we start pulling it from the cash account. But the key is we never drain the cash account to zero. Because if we ever do that, then we run out of capital if the market goes lower. And we want to always be able to lower the average cost basis of our investments so that we can get the highest return possible with the lowest risk. That is how you load up your bags for this coming bull market. Thank you, Jeb. God bless you and your family. We appreciate you being an upstanding man, sharing your knowledge and wisdom. Thank you so much, Tracy. Oh, and read a lot and be a sponge of information and accept reality. Absolutely. God bless the good wife. Yes. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. Mike Porton said, your channel is unique. Don't stop talking about morality and other things like that. There's more to life than just money. That's absolutely right. And I'll tell you what. You don't want to just be rich. Although I do want you to be wealthy. You want to be wealthy the right way. Wealth gained by vanity will soon be diminished, the word says. And if that wealth that is gained by vanity is soon diminished, then the pain of losing it oftentimes because you lost it the wrong way, not because you gave it away, not because you were called to give it away, but if you lose it the wrong way because of foolishness or sin, the pain of losing it will be much worse than any amount of pleasure it ever brought in the first place. So don't build wealth the wrong way. Only choose to build it the right way. Somebody approaches you and says, hey, man, you can make $1 million doing this. But you're going to have to breach your integrity. You're going to have to screw this guy over. My son, do not go with the sinner. Do not go in the way of his foolishness. Don't do it. If you guys enjoyed today's stream, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate all of you for tuning in. We are going to wrap it out. Make sure to check out there. NordVPN, Uphold, Crypto.com. Awesome companies. They've got great products. Check them out. Hope you guys have enjoyed. We're going to wrap it out. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.